Hi, how are you doing today? This is, well, I'm not going to tell you my name. I'm a professional e-marketer that's been around for like the last 10 years. I've worked for some of the big major entertainment firms under a couple of different assumed handles on many, many different sites. I've worked with many, many different pieces of software, expensive, crappy, in between. And I'm doing this little YouTube video today because a friend of mine asked me to do it on this piece of software that over the last month has kind of taken off like wildfire. Like I said, I've used many different kind of softwares and actually code in about 3-4 languages, and this particular one is one of those stupid little pieces of software that isn't unbelievable in its scope, but it just happens to fit the bill and do the right thing for the right type of marketing thus far in today's day and age. And this piece of software is called Twitter Genius, and before I go on, let me just say that for those of you who don't know that Twitter is the last bastion of pure e-marketing on the internet, then you're way behind the guerrilla marketing game. I say that with all due respect. I'm not trying to be insulting. It's just we've been doing it for about a decade, and so much so I can't even tell you my name because it would reveal all kinds of embedded people I have in embedded rings and web rings and sites. But there's a lot of people out there who know me, who will recognize my voice and know who I am. But anyway, the point is that Twitter's the last bastion of pure marketing playground, a level playing field, if you want to put it that way, for reaching people directly with your message. And so we really have to try to reach them somehow as guerrilla marketers out there, and this program, Twitter Genius, is really the way to do it. It's a simple program. Essentially, what you're doing is you're attempting to follow as many different people as you can without outdoing Twitter's rate policies per day. And in exchange, you're going to be followed by a countless amount of people. When I first got this program about 30 days ago, the very first account I created was a random account, and within a couple of days I had maybe 500 people following me. For those of you who Twitter out there and who are already trying to use Twitter as a good vehicle for marketing and selling and making money, you understand that those numbers actually mean something. It's pretty good. So this program does it all, and I'm going to jump right into it because I'm going to try to keep the length of this video down. For those of you who don't understand what Twitter is, it's basically just a site where people just write whatever's on their mind. They get up in the morning, they write, "I get up." They have breakfast, they write, "I'm eating breakfast." These little messages they send out to everybody in the world are called tweets. They go for a unicorn ride. They write, I went for a unicorn ride. Whatever. Tweets can be inane, and they can also be cool. But one of the things that makes tweets interesting is when people begin to follow your tweets, or subscribe if you want to put it into e-marketing terms. They subscribe to your tweets, and they're followers of yours. Followers is the term that Twitter uses. A lot of these people have these tweets and these followings linked directly to their cell phone, so really have the ability, if you have a large following, to send a blanket message broadcast out to a lot of different cell phones. And that's what I call marketing power. That's what I call promotional power. If you don't have that type of power in the guerrilla marketing world, then you're always struggling to get it. When you do get it, you're always struggling to keep it. And for those of you who don't understand why you would want it, then you might be in a different marketing game than the rest of us. But for those of you who understand how important that is, this is your program. Anyway, let's run through it real quick. There's 5 tabs. There's the proxy settings tab, which is right here. You don't need it. You can access Twitter with the HTTPS requests and HTTP requests without proxies. If you do need it, do a proxy search. It'll populate all the proxies you can use. Then hit stop when you have enough, maybe 20 in here, and then run the rest of the tabs. Proxies will be probably something that you'll need to do in the future, because who knows, Twitter may start locking down their site a little bit more. Account registration, username list. All you have to do here is automatically populates for you a very random username. As you can see, it populates that. And you can input an email yourself to register. It's not really necessary, since you won't be really confirming any emails that are sent out by Twitter. So you can kind of leave that blank. Or if you're like me and you like to use emails that have catch-all forwarding, then you can populate it with an email that you use for that sort of thing. Appending a random string will simply append a random string to the username list, so you can just do this over and over and over to create usernames. And use proxy will, of course, use those proxies if you want to do it in that secure, anonymous kind of way. Okay, so I'm just going to hit register. Let's just register this random user right here. There's our wonderful CAPTCHA. Blast democracy. Interesting choice of words. Anyway, you see it just created that random user with a random password and a random email. I'm going to check that off, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Visit Selected Account, and let's just see if such a user exists now. Bam! In less than 5 seconds, I just created a user account. I am now a user underneath that moniker or handle at Twitter. Now I can, tweet to people about unicorn rides and how much I love my rubber ducky and whatever else people talk about on Twitter. Essentially, you go to the next tab, you can say what you're doing. I'm going to say nothing. I don't tweet. I sell stuff for a living. Huh, I totally misspelled that. Who cares? Anyway, I'm going to say submit. What the heck? And it's going to submit this tweet. I'm making a tweet out there, which in and of itself means nothing, right? Who cares about a tweet? Tweets are ridiculous, and I think just about any person's opinion that doesn't choose to connect that way or choose to spend their time randomly tweeting with people and connecting that way. Tweets are a little bit weird, but they're great for marketing, great for us. So there, I submitted it successfully, and if I was to actually visit the account, you'll see that I successfully submitted a tweet. Hey, nothing. I don't tweet, I sell stuff for a living. Okay. So now comes the real joy of it, and that is to follow people. And following people is what gets them to follow you. It's a reciprocal type of behavior on Twitter. You want to select follow all search persons, unless you just want to select a random number of people to follow you, or to follow. I'm going to set my interval time 1 second between every follow I make, and the keyword is just a keyword I'm going to search in everybody's tweets out there. If you go to tweetgrid.com, I think is the name of the site, then you can see what's trending hot and what's trending not. There's a little marketing freebie. I'm not going to give any more marketing freebies away, but if you go to that site, you'll see what's trending hot. I know from experience and from looking at the site, NXE is trending hot, so I'll just use one keyword, just one keyword, folks. NXE is the keyword I'm going to use. That's the new operating system for the Xbox. Just came out midnight a night ago, and I'm going to hit follow. And yada yada yada. It's just going to start racking up follows. So I'm going to start following all kinds of people based on NXE being a keyword in their tweet, in their message that they send out on Twitter. And it's just going to follow. If you hear those little clicks in the background, that's the Twitter Genius software taking over and following and following and following and following. And as it follows, people will be reciprocal, which they usually are on Twitter. I ran this for a couple of hours my very first time, and essentially, I'll go ahead and tell you, I went ahead and outdid Twitter's rate cap, and at around 1,700 follows and about 500 people following me, they kind of locked me down for the day and said, hey, you're not allowed to follow anymore. So don't be greedy about it, because you might get busted as a guerrilla marketer, but this will definitely, think about having 400 or 500 follows a day. Do it for a few months. You're talking about, what, 20,000 followers, 40,000, 50,000 followers? That's promotional power. That's marketing power right there. So, that's where it's at. And just to show you, we're going to go back here. I'm going to launch my browser real quick. Refresh. Hey, I'm following 8 people while we were talking in the last 20 seconds. It's rock and roll, people. I can't say enough about this program. It's going to be the new wave. If you don't have it, it's available for, I think, less than $50 at twitterblaster.com. Out.